Okay, so now the channel is free, so we're ready to start our session. So we'll look at our receive, turn the RX on the signal link so that that's in the middle, and then we'll prepare to adjust our transmit level when we start. So we'll click on start, and we'll start transmitting. Again, we're going to look at the ALC indicator on the TS2000, and you can see now that it's going out and making the call and transmitting. So hopefully here in a moment we'll connect. Okay, you can see we've made the connection and to KN6KB, and you can see by the waterfall here that the connection's made. That X that we're seeing here on the display is perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. That's a 4 FSK type of connection. You can see it's making the connection. We're connected in at 1600. This is a really good connection. If there's email rating, you'll see the green bar across the top, and as the message comes down, that bar will move across. So we can just sit here and watch the Winmore interface and make sure that we keep an eye on our ALC levels and watch the connection continue. You can see we do have a message coming down, and we say yes, we want to receive it. So again, look for this green bar across the top.
You're looking at the Kenwood TS2000 while it's transmitting with a signal link, and you notice this top power level indicator when I'm transmitting, when this is red, is coming up above 25 watts, somewhere between 25 to 50, and I can adjust that with the signal link. If I turn it down, which I'll do now, you notice now that my power level is down here around 10-12 watts. I can turn the signal link transmit level clockwise and then bring it up above 25, somewhere between the 30 to 50 watts when it's actually transmitting. So now you see that it's going to bounce somewhere in this range. The other thing I want you to notice is that there's no ALC indication at all. We're only adjusting the power. The actual power on the radio is at 60 watts as our actual setting on it. But adjusting the transmit output from the TNC to the radio is what's actually letting us adjust the amount of power that's being transmitted. So again, we want to put it in the 30 to 50 watt range. So there you can see the signal link in operation. Push to talk light is going on and off, and I have the transmit about 12 o'clock position, and we're putting out about 30 watts. Receive is turned down way low, but that's okay. As long as you're in the green on the Winmore, you're fine.
As promised, I want to show you what the review message box looks like. So we'll do this in Telenet. So we'll open a session and we'll start. And since I have this set up to review messages, here's the review pending messages folder. It shows me the message here and the amount of space that they take up, how large they are. And there's other choices. I can hold a check for later, or I can permanently delete this, whatever I wish to do. I could download the check message, select all the message, or deselect them all. So if I'm ready to receive those, I can just hit download check messages. At that point, they are downloaded, and you see them show up in the in folder. If there had been any really large ones, I could have chosen not to have downloaded them if I was actually doing this over the radio. So that's what it looks like. And you can see we're actually receiving the message now. And you can see by our waterfall, it's moved out to the 1600, so it's a little bit wider connection. Another thing you can look at is the average acknowledged percentage. It's normally going to run around 50%, would be pretty common. So you can see that it's completed. We're doing an FQ, which is saying goodbye, and it'll be ready to disconnect. And sending out my ID. And we're done. We give our stats. Our peak throughput was 389 bytes per minute. So let's exit out of this. And now you see my message. So here's a message I actually sent to myself. We can adjust it up to where we can see all of it. So, hello Rick, hope testing is going great. Well, obviously it is. We got the message. So that's basically a connection on Winmore and how that works. There are three places we can adjust the transmit power level. We can adjust it at the radio itself, we can adjust it at the signal link, and we can also adjust it at the computer. Let's go take a look at the computer. If you come down to the speaker on the bottom right hand corner here and right click that, you can go to playback or recording devices. Click on either one of those. That will bring up our sound card interface or sound interface. You'll see listed on here the playback devices, and there's a tab for recording devices, and there's a tab for sounds. Make sure your sounds are turned off. We don't want any bleeping and blipping going on when we're trying to do transmissions. Come back to the playback tab and come down and look for the USB audio codec. In this case, I actually have it listed as the signal link with a different icon for it. Just highlight that, hit properties. It'll take us to the properties box for that. This is where you can change the name and use a different icon. Go to the levels tab. What we're interested in doing is setting the level at 100%. So set it at 100 and click on OK. Then come back over to the recordings tab and again look for the signal link. It's going to be listed as the USB audio codec. In this case, I actually have it listed as signal link. Highlight that, hit the properties tab, and again we're going to look at the properties for that. Come over to the levels tab. Again, we want to set this for 100%. Click on OK. So if we set both of these for 100%, and we're not really going to make any other adjustments at this level on the computer. All of our adjustments are going to be made at the radio or at the signal link. Our coarse adjustments will be at the level input at the radio, and our fine adjustments will be at the signal link. Just click on OK to get out of this. One of the last things I want to go over with you are the actual power settings we're going to use for transmitting. For VHF packet, we're going to set the radio to the desired amount. This will usually be 25 to 50 watts. The ALC should not go above the third bar. It would look very similar to a normal voice transmission. For HF Pactor, we're going to set the power to 60 watts on the radio. Then we're going to adjust the actual output power by setting the PSK, FSK levels in the TSE setup window. If larger adjustments needed, change the radio's menu 50B from 1 to 2. The actual output power should be between 30 to 50 watts, and there should be absolutely no ALC indicated. Winmore is very similar. HF Winmore, we're going to set the power to 60 watts. Then we're actually going to adjust the output by rotating the TX knob on the signal link. If larger adjustments needed, change the radio's menu 50B from 1 to 2. The actual output should be somewhere between 30 to 50 watts. And again, absolutely no ALC should be indicated. So these are the power settings that you want to use. To learn more about this, you can go to the Help section and go in through the troubleshooting and Winmore connection problem section and learn more about the RF related problems causing waveform distortion and splatter. You can read about overmodulation and RF distortion. Again, the main thing you want to see is that no ALC action should be occurring. So that's how you set the power. Just be aware of that when you're transmitting. Well, that's it. You finished the RMS Express training package of the Winlink Digital Communications video series. I hope this has been educational for you. If you've got any questions, be sure to go to the Help section and go through all of the great information there. Again, I can't overemphasize how good all of this information is and can answer most any question you might have. So here's hoping that all of your communications are clear, calm, and concise. 73 from K4REF. Over to webmail and then click on Portal to the Radio Email System. When you click on that, it will take you to the login page. Maybe.